Hi everyone. Today is February 13, 2020. Today's Bibles we selected Genesis chapter 1 and verse 1. God creations the heaven and the earth. Elohim Elohim Farah Hashemayim Haaretz. This is for the Hebrews. I recall that when I in the theology schools, we have to learn the Hebrews and the Hellas, both languages. So because of theology, we needed to know more about biblical, means. So anyway, today's I wanted to talk about still America still have a hope or not. So California still have hope and America still have hope or not. So we have so many political leaders we have in this world. So, so I want to just talk about today's, what kind of, the political leaders we should have, what kind of leaderships we have it. First, we need to find out core personal values, creation this world, God always, give us the, when first times creation Adam and Eva, there is a core personal values people's like equal opportunity or like so personal core values we need to find out those under God's creations. First, we can find out compassions, which is compassions. We always had a compassions when people who are doing something, they need a compassions, motivations. People, when you are working, when you are serve God, when you are serve your family and neighborhood, all there is a compassion is basic, as well as even you have compassion. If you don't commitment, there is no really happen real compassions in the world. So commitment, even you have a commitment, you do not have development skills, so you cannot creation your core personal value. So development skill is so important, as well as when you develop your skill, you went to several training and schools and experience. You have developed your skill, but you are not public considerations. That's not make your core personal value. You needed to public considerations. When you decide on something, when you involve in something, you always need to think about your public considerations. Like it is good for public, it is good for public value, only my value. So this is very important. So baseball is also very important. Human is very limited to do something. Is if we have believe God, if we have baseball life, it's better for us to, because of those base make us able to do more things we can do than without base and with the base. So that is another thing, service mind. So do you have a really service mind or not? That is so service mind is so important because of those service mind. Sometimes people's make better like value, public values. So today's many leadership style is there, but still it's today's we need a more like real leaderships in through our life and relations and public work. And any any foundation of our society, we need leaderships. So think about your core personal value. What is your core personal value to do something? So there is a moral leaders. There is enthusiastic leaders. Enthusiastic leaders meaning they have a real true life story experience they shared. Like example, there's many political leaders. They always talk about their success story because they never talk about true their life, their fail story. So as much as they talk about success story, the voter or follow or support they occasionally, is this true life experience or it's make baking? So we have the enthusiastic leadership is meaning true. They need to talk about real life story, good or not only successful story but also fail story needed to share. Then many people they can connect it as a real this guy or this woman, this lady, yeah, empathetic leaders they can follow. That's one is make your core personal value better. As we are created by God, we have everyone had a core personal value. God creations, heaven and earth, those those last day, that six God creations, the human it's for prepare all those and those God's creations include our core personal value. And 30 leaderships really needed because people have compassion, commitment, develop skills, public consideration, peacefully, service mind. They are good moral leaders, but they are not sometimes enthusiastic leaders because they don't have a true life story shared. So that is we can be more like a core personal and public value to be more moral leaders and be more authentic leaders in God, for God, lead God. So as well as a second, I wanna mention that what is a personal core values group, not I and me. We should talk we because the we is bring value together. So if we emphasize on always I, me, and then there is only a core personal value for him, for everything is for yourself, not for talk about focus on the public. So we have to have it the talking always we is better sounds uh is more public values you are considered. So that is big values, bigger values than core personal values is when we talk together is so important. So also third things I wanna talk with you be more like leaders models, superhero. Like we have a Supermans, we have a, those Superman theory is they are like had a superpower and moral leaders and responsibilities. So super hero leads, they are like one of our model of leaderships that always have a superhero story, but the true life is not really everything is a super, superhero stories. There is a behind the personal life and behind the public life. Always there is a something unable to talk or truly, but the real leaders, real authentic leaders needed to talk about those true life story whenever not fake story and not to make too much superheroes theology because if you have those super your core values you always focus superhero, then your responsibility and moral leaders and superpower like a superman's you always have to be super powerful but it's not like a really great power by yourself. You are only core personal value. We have the creation those together make a great come together is that is really we have to make a public uh, values through your own life story. That is power, that is real message, there is real value. But however, the true and justice story, American ways and true and justice is should need requires when you empathetic leaderships. So that is the moral leadership and empathetic leadership. So we can review both common leadership style. I think there is many leaders in our society. Some leaders they are carrying many core values like compassion, commitment, balance, develop skill, public considerations, faithfulness, service mind. Everyone is a different core personal value. Those core personal value is make a common leadership style. What leadership style you have it? So example, coach, the coach, mentors, those persons, they are core leadership value to motivate others. And there is a visionary. So progressions focus on the inspirations. Those people who are visionary people, their core values, they can be progress and focus the, inspire peoples. And there is another servant leaderships that are humble and, they are very humble, promotive others to follow because of servant mind, like Jesus Christ, who washed their disciple in space. No, who the leader Jesus was washing the disciples' feet. That that is one of humble because even Jesus was Son of God and do not need to do those humble actions, but he did a show like servant leaderships. Another leadership is, we call, there is a base set, like, no, piece set, meaning helpful and the motivations. And then there is also autocratic leadership is like only those who like many is people who are they follow autocratic leaders, everything they want to do control by themselves. So there is many other leaderships. We have it laissez-faire fair and handle of leadership. So that those is a very variety, diversity, very freedoms leadership. Anyway, all those leaderships we have it that are working by core values through our develop our self skill and the motivations through our life. So today's what is my message today that through this America still have a power, still have a visions, still have a right, so we needed to more like those make great Americas. How we can be make a great America, we need to find out true justice politics that American founding fathers do, like values, public like creation those more public value than to do our core values. So today's the today's many leaders in there. So America needed to really think about this to today's like so many inflations and so many like corruptions, education corruptions, business corruptions, and immigration corruptions. Although those corruptions, because of maybe there is not really responsibility by political leader or our personal core value is not really reachable to the public, those true and justice. Many people's not true, many people's not justice. So we need to really change this world. So how we can change those America to go back to the biblical value, go back to the American, those conservative views. So that is more like God's creations, this world. First, we should think about what is the God's creations, the conservative views, and Christians' value and biblical value. First, God, we see creations chapter 1 and verse 1 through all the those creations that God was a creations equal opportunity to woman and the man. But many our public figures that woman is less valued than men's. We need to fix those changes. Woman is equal creation by God. That is, we needed to really think about that. Is today's, many places discriminations, men and women, boy and girls. So those is those their woman core values. Those boy and girls, their core values is very important to group that are to visible to the this community together. So more visionable, more like really motivation to them to participate in this world. However, there are the discrimination for genders, discrimination for race, discrimination for workers. There is many discriminations. We need to fight for them because of in creations chapters, first creations, that is God is equal core values. We are all the values equal under God. So we have to really understand those core values, where find out Jesus creations, all we have the same core values, and what God made all this world. We are still have hope because of under all our circumstance right now, inflation, homeless, crime, everything, and then as well as every corruption is under control by God. So the things is, when God was creations, this world said, so beautiful world, so wonderful world. But once we have to really balancing those those God's word to really measure us to real good, measure every day's. But our life is always to there is gaps, performance gaps. So what God does not like to us to change it, the rule of God's rule. But now is science. Many science they now changed by human power, human knowledge, human inventions, the against God. Those ones we also needed to think about the public value through our core values. So we need to really find out those, through the Bible. We need to go back to the biblical values. We need to go back to the conservative values to, equal opportunity, black and white, yellows. We cannot just say to, their value is different. No, their value under God is the same. We need to see that those movements to, Abraham Lincoln's, Martin Luther King's, they all fight for those equal opportunity to no racism. So today's, world is so, far away from the God's, those core values, God's leadership, God's balancing. We have to really calling the leaders needed to have to those schooling that go to the conservative value and go to the uh, their like public value through the God's creations. The God is master plan that we have our through life. Always build core values yourself as well as a core value to the public values. Not I, not me, we always think about we. That is the we can like we if we think about we, that is really we will have those core value together. We have authentic leaderships, moral leaderships, all the common leadership styles we adopted through our life creations, true and just American ways, our founding fathers' way to weekend creations, our life better, like what God creation first. We are not, we are not, we are not creator. We are creators. Which is we are. God was a creation us, not about ourselves. Today is also many things. Human, they creation themselves, but we have to go back to the God's master plan that equipped need God, joined need God, and working need God proper. God make those proper times. God give us according what we doing. He give a fruit through the really public values. But many in the Jesus Christ also he died on the cross because for public value, which is God's value, and through his own value, which is core personal value of Jesus Christ, he had a compassion to, who are, those who are sinners, and he has a commitment. He died on the cross, and for them, and development skill himself, he did a lot of miracles. He did a lot of training disciples, preaching the gospel. He's considered public consideration public, base for in God, need God for God, and service mind that he had. So those are, our personal, Jesus, those personal core values more that we can adopt it every daily life. Then this life can be changed. This America can be changed. California and California needed to go back to the biblical values. California needed to go back to the really God's values and Christian values, and everything's we really needed to go back to those power in God, for God, the God, when we have a core personal value as well as those core value, not just I and me, you know, we have to using those your core value to think about we and the big values together for public values through our life, get a responsibility, get a moral leaders, get more superpower through those your core personal value is we can be more authentic leadership or moral leadership. So today's I want to just conclude my each political leaders, each faithful, church members, we have all we are core personal value. Think about what is your core personal value. What different persons, different position, different person has a different core value. So write down your core values and how you can contribution make those your personal core value to make those not I, me, or we, go to we and make your true life experience. Through that, you can make more specific core value that are, just share the friend, the family, what was, your core personal values, contributions, public public values, and then what kind of leaderships you have it, like you are coaching or a visionary or a servant or peace setter or autocratics. You are the leadership styles through those your creation power, that through your core personal value. Without those check up your core personal value, you don't know what you have, what kind of personality, what kind of leadership style you have, what kind of power you have through your own life. So find out your core personal value, as well as find out those through core personal value, what can do for God, for church, for the community, for the nonprofit. So your public leaders, like example, like who working at a city council, city at the working at the public office, whatever, they need more like practice their core value, finding themselves their aesthetic personal core value is so important, like compassion, commitment, develop skill like public consideration, peaceful, service mind. All those are things. Check up your how much you have a passion, compassions. So you need to practice your compassions and commitment. How much you commitment, you find out how much you develop skill, how much you consider public, not I or me, we, how much you have a service mind like Jesus Christ. That is today's my consideration when we go back to the creations, those the Bible creation chapter 1 and 1. God creation this world and earth and heaven. That are we whenever you have core values from God, we need using for that, for God, for public value, because the person is not survival themselves alone. So we have to really community core values, community values. We need we theology is so important because our true life is God made those rules that we need to build common leaderships that together work together to really develop together, not just I or me. We have to do we theology. So today is kind of think about how God was giving us your core value through your life, or through your groups, through your church, or through your all the society you are involving. Think about how you can make you to develop. How can develop others than you through your core values? How you can develop your family members, your co-workers, your church members, your community to make public values through your life. That is our today's message. Let's pray.